What's up? What's up? Made it live, all the way live. So today we have Matt Booth, Room 101 Cigars, special guest Tommy from Nickel City Cigars, who will be chiming in a little bit. I'm here outside of Boston as always. Sunny, beautiful day. We're chilling. We're going to be smoking. We're going to be talking, chatting. Whoever has questions, please make sure you fill those questions in. But today, as we go on, this is New England Cigar Militia Live with your host, the commish special guest, Matt Booth. Bam. What's up? What's happening? He got the shirt on. He got the shirt on. He likes the merch, man. I worked hard on that stuff. Thanks, brother. Appreciate you. How's your day going out there?
It's cool, man. How are you?
I'm good. You know, this cut and light is brought to you by one other, myself.
There you go.
You know?
There you have it.
You know, there you have it. Myself. We are live. We're waiting for people to chime in. We got 5, 6, 7 people coming in. Let me get the comment section up just in case they got some crazy, ludicrous comments for you. I'm sure they will.
Are you familiar? Oh, no, wait, that's Philly. Never mind. Never mind. It was in Philly, the place that sold the velour tracksuits that I went to. Touch of Man.
Hey, listen, velour tracksuits are the mob trend. The old school mobsters back in the day used to wear those velour tracksuits.
They're so comfortable.
Yeah, you see one of them
guys in it?
You see one of them guys?
You don't make eye contact. You just you don't want the conversation.
Yeah, like sorry, I'm not doing it today.
Yeah. It's all good. I'm gonna go over here. It's fine. Yeah, no, I got you. No, I bought a shitload of those from Touch of Man in South Philly when I was there one of the last times. I thought it was what you should do when you're local. Shop local, buy local.
So what do you do?
You know,
you wear those to like a disco? You wear those to like a disco?
I wore them to my events.
Oh, that's phenomenal. I
did events after that. I wore them to all my events.
Oh,
and gave a couple away as raffle items.
Yeah. That's awesome. Did you sign them?
No. I mean, I signed some of them with my signature scent. What would I get if I came to Boston, though? That's what I want to know. See, this is the beauty of the world. Is not the things that are so grand. It's the little intimate details, geographically speaking.
The first thing you're gonna get is a good meal. That's the first thing we're gonna get. You get a good meal. None of this fugazi Italian. You know. We don't do that out here. The food is amazing here in Boston, as I always preach. I gotta preach my city up because that's what we're known for, is the seafood.
Seafood.
Yeah. Seafood, lobsters, Italian food. You know, that's the type of stuff.
I'm a fan of Boston. I haven't been many times, man. Tragically, the business has not taken me there frequently, and that's really what charts my course, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I did like the city. Last time I came through there, I had some sort of occurrence with Kurt Kendall, and so I came in through Boston.
Kendall's a good dude.
Yeah, the best. He's the best, man.
Yeah, he's a dude.
Here's the situation. Is anyone watching this yet?
Yeah.
Don't be a dick. Be more like Kurt Kendall.
Mm-hmm.
If more people in our business were like Kurt Kendall, it would be a good situation. Be more like Kurt.
You know what I love about Kurt Kendall is he's just vintage. Like, he's vintage,
real deal.
You know, like, he collects cigar merchandise. I love his place. Like, you know, I love his place. I mean, I go up there a lot. I'm up there once a month. Like I feel like obligated to go up there once a month. It's about 30 minutes.
Kurt was actually one of the first cats I met in the business right before we launched the brand, because we did like a rollout of Room 101 Cigars at Sturgis one year. And because Sturgis dovetailed directly into the industry show. So like a complete fucking moron, I did 10 days in Sturgis, and then I went to New Orleans and did it all over again for a trade, an industry trade show like a psychopath. But Kurt was there in Sturgis. And so I got to meet him there before I was even in the business, man. And we hit it off immediately. Really good memory, man. I mean, and many came after that. Many memories came after that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love going to Kurt's place to go there. He's got some very special liquor. I mean, he makes his own whiskey. He makes his own whiskey.
He just good shit.
Yeah, he's got his own brand. I mean, shout out to Kurt Kendall. I mean, I love going there.
You son of a bitch.
COVID killed it, man, because I used to go up there once a month, guaranteed. And have a great old time. And,
are you washing your hands?
Actually, yeah. I actually work in the hospital, so I
oh shit.
Yeah, I don't do this. I don't do that. If you see me doing this a lot, it's because I can do this home, but I don't even think twice about doing it there.
What do you do at the hospital?
I work for Brigham and Women's Hospital, which is in Boston, and I do security over there.
Okay.
We're one of the biggest hospitals in the country, or if not, best put it, the world.
Do you do security in the ER?
Yeah.
You have a good time, don't you? You got a lot of stories.
Yeah, a lot of stories. Unfortunately, we can't really talk about them because you got to protect the patient's privacy, and
of course,
people are always entitled to their rights. So,
my mom and stepdad were both nurses for over 30 years. My stepdad in the ER. So
he's got stories for days.
Oh, yeah, man. I mean, the dinner table conversation were their stories from the day, and the security guys came up often. They were always kind of part of the story, because if it was a story, they were more than likely somehow involved to fix the story. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We got a lot of people in here. You may know. We got Cigar Prop.
What's up, Prop?
He says, "What's up, Thunder Dick Jones?"
That is my dog. You know what? We got to give him a shout out, because he brought up so much. He interviewed me, and I think to call that evolution in time an interview would be an insult to how bromantical that evolution was. Right? It was fantastic, and he was taking notes. He's been taking notes. He's been paying attention, and he asked me a lot of things. Gave me a shout out as Thunder Dick Jones, one of my
you can get 100 shout outs on my show, because Cigar Prop's my boy. The second I started doing this and doing whatever I was doing, I went down to Florida. I met up with Cigar Prop. He's the man. He's a good dude. Really is a good dude.
Now he's a vile individual and is not to be trusted, but I love him dearly, and I think that he is look, man, I think he's a standout with what he does. This.
Uh-oh.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm losing you a little bit.
No, man, I'm sorry. Somebody just tried to call my phone, man. When you do this long enough, right?
Yeah.
You get very used to it. And, it's good training for me, because obviously, next I intend to go into politics. So I have to be, comfortable with addressing the public, as it were. Right. And so you can ask questions about that later. I'll table that for later. But his interview, it was spellbinding. It was enchanting. It was a good time, man. I very much enjoyed it. He gave very good interview. I'll say that. That's all I got to say about it.
He's got a question for you. I'm gonna have to throw you
Who?
you for the first loop hit with Cigar Prop. Cigar Prop says, "Tell us one story about the weirdest thing stuck in somebody's butt."
Male or female?
Oh, we gotta wait for that reply.
Or it doesn't matter. Just somebody. I mean, that's universal.
Somebody, right? Just anybody.
Oh, Danny Vasquez.
Danny's in here. Danny wants your ashtray.
I bet he does. I bet you do. Don't you? D Vass. That's cool. I'll get you one. Daddy gets you one. Don't you worry.
The question was for me, he says.
Oh, I was already thinking
So,
which incident was I going to talk about?
so the weirdest thing somebody has done that with, because I keep it a little G-rated, is a dildo, and it didn't come out. It had to be removed. That was in my earlier days.
Oh, you're talking about at your work or
Yeah,
like
yeah,
recreationally?
yeah.
Oh, dude. If we're talking about work, I got a story from a surgeon. I mean, do we have time for this, or is there like a regimen? Because I don't want to throw you off.
Listen, we're chilling. This is anything we want to do, we do.
So we're casual.
Casual.
So I'm in Arizona, and I'm at a cigar bar for an event. Shocking, I know. They sell our gin there. They sell our cigars, etc. We're in there promoting. I rarely want to leave an establishment. Okay, I have a great time with everybody. This night I was disenchanted. I think it was just a lot of travel adding up, and I was like, man, I need to go to sleep, and I wasn't fired up. Oh yeah, long game. That's right. This is cool because I can see the comments.
Yeah.
What's up, Allison? So
yeah. Allison was the one who was hipping me to the Matt Booth game. You know.
well, don't go down the wormhole. There's only so far you should go into the cavern before it becomes very treacherous. So I'm about to bounce a little early from my event, and the owner says, we have a customer that comes in on a regular that I think you would really hit it off with. He's a surgeon, and we call him the extractor. And I said, all right, I'm going to stay. So I went back to the bar and I sat back down and I waited for him about an hour. The extractor appears. He materializes at the door with a lady on his arm. And I approach him and I say, hey, I'm Matt Booth. We're doing this thing in here tonight. But more importantly, I heard you and I would get along and I want to have a conversation with you. And he was just straight up a fellow weirdo. It was like we didn't even skip a beat. And we sat down and he proceeds to tell me the story, how he got his name, the extractor. And this story, honestly, people in the medical field have a very kind of by the numbers fashion that they go about. If someone that was not in the medical profession, for example, had their arm ripped off, they'd be more than likely freaked the fuck out, right? And I'm not saying like in the moment when the shock sets in and your body is adrenalized and you're making a fucking mess. I'm saying that, a doctor or nurse would say, okay, well, this person's going to lose the use of this arm, but they're going to learn to make up for it in this way. It's kind of like more of a matter of fact way that they go about even things that are very traumatic, dealing with things like that. And the extractor was no different, but he essentially was woken up one evening about 2:33 in the morning by the staff at the emergency room. And at the time, he was an ER surgeon. He has since gone on to be some form of brain surgeon. So the dude is skilled, right? And they say, hey, they weren't calling him extractor at the time because this is how he earned his, hi, Laura. This is how he earned his name. So they say, look, there's this cat in here in the ER that has, the working end of a Louisville Slugger inserted into him deeply. And we cannot get it out. And the extractor's upset by this. And he says, look, if you guys are fucking with me, I'm going to make sure that you're all fired. And they're like, yeah, that's fine. Just please hurry because there's a bat inside this guy, right? So, and just to clarify for the kids out there in Cyberlandia, the working end, I mean the fat end of the bat, right?
Oh, man.
And, oh, yeah. Oh, it was in there. And, they can't just pull it out because the suction, man. The suction will just pull half the dude's guts out with it. You know what I mean? Right? Because there's suction. Think about it. So extractor comes in and he assesses the situation. And what he has to do for this guy is they, of course, put him under. And extractor, they cut off how the bat has the bulbous tip at the end that the meat of your hand rests on at the end, So they cut that part off, right? And they open this dude up. They move all of his guts out of the way, and they pull the bat out through his carcass, and then kind of put everything back together and sew the guy up. They extract the bat from his body. Now, the extractor was very frank with me, and he told me, he said, look, man, I was so furious with this guy because what he had done was so stupid that I literally could not speak to him. They're responsible. They have to address the patient. Like if they operate on them, they have to speak to them before they're discharged from the hospital. And so, high five on surviving the surgery, any information that they need to give to him. And so the extractor told me, he said, it took about 2 weeks for me to not be so furious with this guy. And plus he had to recover for some time because that was some activity. Thanks, Michael. You keep buying those paybacks, bro. So he goes in and he speaks to the gentleman and he lets him know, he's like, look, don't ever come back in here again like this. He said, there's no one else in this hospital that could save you except me. And he said, the next time I will not operate on you. He said, I will not save you next time. If you come back here like this, you ain't checking out. That's what he told. The extractor was a G. So, and then, that's my extractor story, hospital story. And I thought he was asking about stuff that we had shoved in people's butts. I was thinking about something very different.
Oh, yeah. I was like, yeah, I would have ran and hide after that one because I don't do none of that crazy nonsense.
You haven't been in the cigar business long enough, Haas.
Well, the easy term would be a cigar. An 8x80.
Well, it's a long story. We'll talk about that later.
We got Tommy here too. I'm gonna bring Tommy in. Nickel City Cigars. Tommy, you're in the building now, Tommy.
Tommy, look at you. I didn't think anything could be more gorgeous than you, but then you held up that beautiful crimson and gold band. It's attractive.
The greatest Connie in the game right here.
Are you sure about that?
Fact. And believe it or not, I prefer this in the Churchill.
Well then. So, the Churchill is a kind of the appropriate, like if you're going to do a Connecticut, you owe it to the Connecticut to offer it in a Churchill. It's traditional. Mm-hmm.
Can you see the ash on this fucking bitch?
Oh, I see it.
She's just smoky, cloudy, stacking.
Look at that cloudy bitch. You're just chiefing her down right through your taste hole.
So I was listening to the death bucket. All right. Mm-hmm. I was listening to the extractor story.
Oh yeah, it's a killer story, right?
Well done.
Yeah.
Pulled it right. And that's right out the carcass.
That's the story that he told me, and we became friends. I mean, he liked cigars too. I mean, it was a cigar bar.
I never had two things about a Louisville Slugger now.
Every time you'll. By the way, you're welcome. Every time you see one, you're gonna look at that little ball at the end. You'll be like,
deep breathing. Oh man. So how's it going?
What are you smoking, Matt?
Farce Maduro Papi Chulo.
Okay. Papi Chulo.
My favorite.
I just got a bunch of those in the Papi Chulo. Thank you, sir.
You know what's interesting about Tommy? Not only is he an insanely well-groomed man, but he has one of the most unique cigar bars in the country. Not the most, but one of the most, because we would never want to slight, his equals and his peers in the business, because there are many standout locations around the country. But I believe that his is one of the standouts in our country, nationwide. And he happens to have the wherewithal and common decency to carry the vertical of Room 101 Cigars, which I very much appreciate.
Mm-hmm.
It's a touchdown, baby. It's a touchdown.
What's the weirdest thing you've ever shoved in somebody's butt? Since we're on the subject. Yeah, you.
I was in the Navy, so
So a lot is
yeah,
what
so
you're
we
saying.
put a lot of things in a lot of dark holes. But there was this one time in Singapore.
Oh God.
Yeah. So you could. And now listen. There's male, female. There's otherwise all that good stuff. I'm not degrading women in any way, shape, or form. I do not endorse, brothels or buy me drinky bars in any way, shape, or form. I adamantly condemn them. But the craziest thing was you could rent some women on a credit card and do whatever you want. So to answer that
Can you hear
question,
me?
to be politically correct.
Yeah, we can hear you. We can't
Can you see me?
You gotta
The
be in a
fuck?
dark hole. You gotta be in a dark hole.
I'm in a dark
in
hole.
Singapore.
Mm.
Man,
So
these guys are fucking me up, man. I'm gonna have to check. I'm gonna have to check back in, guys.
That got shoved up her.
Okay. So how we doing
what's
out there?
up, brother?
I gotta make it out there, man.
No Pats game. You can't come to a Pats game this year. We're canceled, brother.
Yeah, it was good
What was
last
your
year.
boy's name that came to the game last year?
I came with my buddy Angel.
Yeah, he was a good dude, man. That was a good game.
The best part was I go out there and I know somebody from blocks away from my house.
All right.
That was my buddy Boston Steve, right?
How the hell am I gonna know Boston Steve?
He's a transplant. He lives here in Buffalo now.
It's crazy. I went out to the Pats game last year, Matt, with my buddy, and we touched down. We're having a conversation, me and my friend out there, and we're talking to this guy, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm from Boston too," and he's like, "Oh well, do you know Dave?" And I'm like, "Dave who?" And he tells me his last name, and I'm like, "Yeah, I know Dave." He goes, "How do you know Dave?" I go, "I live in his house."
Yeah.
Small world.
7.5 hours away.
This is the guy that I knew in medical school, and we call him Boston Steve. He's a member here at the lounge, and I bring him to every New England game because he's from Boston. So I knew Kevin and his boy Angel were coming down to hit the game up with me and hit the tailgate up. I bring Boston Steve and all the boys, and it was and that small fucking world. And all of a sudden, dude's living in his house. It's crazy. Not only
that's how it
he's
happens.
In the same neighborhood, but he's living in the same freaking house.
That's how it happens.
When he said he was his brother, I was like, dude, I'd known him since I was a little kid. He grew up with my cousin, and then I moved into his house like a year and a half before that. I was just like, what the hell is going on here, dude? How the hell is this real? I couldn't believe it. What's it, 7 hours to get to Buffalo and I meet him? So right. I didn't get to try the chicken wings, though. I mean, Tommy didn't give me no chicken wings. So right now, Buffalo does not have good chicken wings. They're terrible.
I heard it's the birthplace.
That's your fault, man. That's
of the chicken wing.
But it gives you better reason to come back because we're literally 3 blocks from the original Anchor Bar right here. So they bring it right here to the shop. So you don't even got to leave. We'll bring it right to your table here at Nickel City Cigars.
Fantastic.
Fancy schmancy,
Yeah, man.
So
concierge
Matt,
service.
Tell us about your car.
The 54?
Yeah, man.
It's cool. It's mild custom.
Thanks.
Just got it painted. Just painted it.
Yeah. Tell me about the color. Why'd you pick the color? I know
So
why.
it was silver previously. I mean, what was left of the paint. And I liked the way the car looked in silver, but what I wanted is a, it is a mild custom. So we deleted some of the trim, like the gas door. We peaked the hood, but it's not like outlandishly custom,
Right.
And I thought a really nice touch would be to do like a modern silver with a lot of pearl in it. So it would be a nod to one of the traditional colors the car came in. However, with more of a modern approach to, oh dear, Rob hates chicken wings, by the way. I just noticed the comment.
I can barely.
And so we got a modern Lexus silver, which is pretty cool. It looks beautiful, man.
Yeah, I love it.
Mechanically sound. It's like a modern vehicle.
Did it win an award this past weekend? I saw.
Oh, it did, man. I got a little trophy at the car show. Yeah, the lowest low.
Because that's what it is, baby.
Lays frame. You have to, man.
Fucking good, man.
It's just gross if you don't. I mean, it's impolite.
It's impolite. Kevin Barrow, I got something for you. The New England Cigar Militia, right? Facebook group, yeah. How many members you got in the Facebook group, Kevin?
Almost 2,100.
Okay. We're gonna.
So is this gonna be on your Facebook thing? Are they all watching right now?
It's on everything. There's like 30 people watching right now.
Nice.
We are gonna give you a New England Cigar Militia discount code.
What?
I'll send it to you later so that you can give
just giving money away.
Yeah, it's giving money away for his crew, for the Cigar Militia.
That's crazy.
If they want to,
it's a fucking animal.
Kevin, we love Kevin. Kevin's a good guy. He says
look at that
in a fun way, and we are technically in the Northeast here in Buffalo, so we're going to support our brothers in the New England Cigar Militia, and we're going to show them a little NCC love. And as always, $80 and up, free shipping. That's 2-day priority. None of that UPS ground bullshit. We're sending it right to your door via an airplane because you're a stud.
Yeah, stuff comes quick. I ain't got nothing against when you send something to me. I bought 30 packages off you, and they all come quick. They fly right in.
People were asking me if I was drop shipping, and I said, nah, bro, we just burn 24 hours a day. You click it, we ship it. And that means we ship it, right? We don't sit on it for 24 hours and then decide to process it. That doesn't make any sense. I wouldn't pay for that. I don't know who else would. And I wouldn't pay for something to sit in a hot van for a week on the road. I mean,
unless you're into that.
Right? Yeah.
You could be into that. I don't judge.
At 200 degrees. Oh man. So you got any Singapore stories, Tom?
I already told mine. He asked the question. He might have missed it. The final answer was it was a melon. It was like a slender melon.
But a melon that was indigenous to Singapore. It wasn't
correct.
Like a melon.
I couldn't tell you what it was. It was like,
God, I hope it wasn't a durian. Sweet Jesus.
Bro, I couldn't even tell you. It had like a salmon color almost to it with like purple on the tips. It's weird. It might have had fur on it too.
Somebody get a question from that.
Furry, flesh-colored melon from Singapore.
Ron Rob got a question for you. Rob is actually from Buffalo, moved to Boston. Obviously loves Boston better than Buffalo. I don't blame him. But he said he has a question, so we're waiting for him to chime in on his question.
Okay.
First of all, he said thank you for your service, which I thank you for that too, and I thank Tommy. Both y'all the veterans. I'm a veteran of Chelsea, Massachusetts. I never made it over to the war. The war was here.
There you go. The war was there.
Yeah, the war was here.
You're still a vet, Haas.
So what's your question, Rob? What's your question? Spit it out.
Spit it out, man. God, man. Get your
He's
little.
I think he Googled questions.
Google questions.
Oh dear.
What's Rob's last name?
Well, while we're waiting for Rob,
Manzella.
I know Rob Manzella.
His family makes wine too, dude.
oh
Killed
nice,
the wine game.
very cool. Are we waiting for him, or are we going on?
We
Come
can
back.
keep going. We can keep going on. Like I said, this is X-rated, uncut. We're chilling, talking, having a good time. He's smoking. Yet the ashes are going. The ashes are going.
You gotta stack them. Listen, this is the carbon line so straight on this. This ash is so flawless, and you know what? It's every single time I smoke this cigar. It's not 1 out of freaking 10, 1 out of 20. It's every single one with these, and they don't come off.
Yeah, it's because we shove stems down in it to keep it from falling off.
Yeah, I don't believe you. I mean, I don't doubt that there's some stems.
I tried. Whatever.
Here's Rob's question. Which is more collaborative, the jewelry business or the cigar business?
You know what, man? I think I would say the cigar business and my my perspective is this. You know, I feel that every product that I release is of a collaborative nature because I'm sitting down across a table with someone that is a master blender in each respective factory that we work in, and we are working together and invested in one another in putting together a product, you know, to produce the end result, which is one of the cigars that you would get with our name on it, right? So, although not outwardly, you know, branded, you know, as a co-branded or collaborative product in that sense, I think if a brand owner is authentically invested in the process, every product they create is collaborative in nature. You know, you challenge each other to go in directions that you would not comfortably on your own in terms of the, you know, the composition of the cigar. And ultimately, I think that that's what makes it great. It's a taste of both of you combined.
Now, I got a question from Mike Collins. Mike, would you consider doing a LE New England Cigar Militia Nickel City store exclusive?
I would consider it.
He wouldn't do it, but he'd consider it.
Well, he asked if I'd consider it.
It's considered.
It is. I am considering it right now.
Then we got.
I don't see why not. What's that?
Then we got Allison. Allison says, "What is your favorite custom jewelry, and what is the story?"
All right. So now, tragically, from what I understood, the last time we got together, I guess it ultimately didn't work out for them. But if we wanted to go back a couple years, a dear friend of mine, Thor Nielsen, he owns Cigar Press Magazine, right? And I'm very friendly with his whole family. He was one of the first guys that I met when I was coming into the business. And through him, I met his beautiful family, and we became acquainted and very friendly with one another. See them every time or at least try to see them every time I go to the Chicagoland area. And his sister approaches me one evening at an industry after party at one of the trade shows, and she hugs me and she cries and she says, you know, her and her husband Garrett are getting separated, and I know all of them, right? And you know, I pulled her back and I looked at her and I said, you go home with your head held high. I am going to send you something that is going to save your marriage. And she wiped she composed herself. She took it to heart. We had a very strong moment, you know, and the evening continued. Now she was actually involved in this shit too, so she knew very well. Now what they did is they owned a balloon arrangement store, right? And arrangement store, right? And in the back, and they did, you know, balloon arrangements for birthday parties, you know, proms, etc. But in the back, there was a VIP room where they sold sex toys, because the housewives would come in to get the balloon arrangement, and then they would go into the VIP and get themselves a little something, you know. Now, at Thor's bachelor party, Garrett, he will not get off me, man. He's adamant that if I send my top clients, you know, you send holiday cards every year. You know, at least it used to be that you would send a holiday card to your customers, and you know, let them know you're thinking of them, etc. He said, for like your top guys, like your custom clientele, you should send them dildos from my store. And he said they will never forget you. Okay, they'll never forget you. And I mean, in all fairness, I mean, I do some way out shit, but a guy that buys a gigantic chain or bangle from me, even though I do wild shit, even I felt that this might be a bit much, especially around the holidays, you know? So time goes on. I end up receiving a package at my home. It's very questionable looking, wrapped in brown paper, and then again wrapped completely in tape. I can't make out, you know, the return address. And I set this atop my kitchen counter. I'm staring at it, and all of a sudden it hits me that I think that this dude just sent me what we had talked about, right? It just, for some reason, intuition kicks in, right? And so I crack open this box. Within the box, there's a custom fashioned, kind of like a silk wrapped presentation box with a bow around it. I open the bow, and within this box, there is a Swarovski crystal encrusted dildo from Garrett, right? Now, I'm not going to be the one that just gets a dildo in the mail and allows it to go unanswered, you know? So I immediately take it to the streets of Hollywood, and I take pictures with it, you know, on Hollywood Boulevard with the stars. I hike up Runyon Canyon, and I take a picture, you know, with it, with the Hollywood sign, you know, and then I begin to work on something for him, little payback, if you will. And so what do? I fashion them small sterling silver dick keychains in my factory, right? And so I was preparing this item, as you know, behind the scenes, as this interaction happens with Thor's sister, right? So I go back home, we finish up the little dicks, and we ship them to him. And would you know? Now, tragically, like I said, I discovered that it finally didn't work out. But this is, now, mind you, this is years later, because this was probably 2011, right? That I dropped this gift on them, and the comments I would get, you know, like, the valets love my keychain, the guys at Jiffy Lube love my keychain. It really brought them together, the spirit of these keychains, you know.
What'd you name them?
Why was I talking about this?
Because Allison bring it up.
Oh, about custom products.
Yeah. What'd you name them? Did you have a special name for this keychain?
I felt it would not be my place to name them. I mean, the people that hold the artifacts should name them. It's only appropriate.
That's hilarious.
That's my story. We're covering a lot of good information today. I'll tell you that much.
So Rob says, do you miss the music industry?
I don't miss the industry, man. I don't miss the industry. I love music. I'll forever love music. I'll forever love playing music, writing music. And quite frankly, I would just prefer to keep it that way. Just doing it solely for the enjoyment of creation and fulfillment, you know? I mean, the shit was fun. Don't get me wrong. But the reality is, if you do something you love to make a living, you should hope to be fortunate enough to continue to love what you do to make that living, you know? So I don't miss the business, but I'm grateful for the experience.
Now, did you ever do music with Pete Johnson? Because he does music too, right?
I mean, we make magical music when we're together, but not in the sense that you're describing. I'm not getting a lot of response here. I can't tell if people are enjoying this or if they're just freaked out.
They're talking. They're chilling. Everybody's chilling.
How's it, Chris?
I'm gonna fire a question at you, Matt. You ready?
Fire away, brah. God damn it.
You've been to Tokyo.
Son of a bitch. Yes.
Tokyo loves you.
Oh, I love Japan, man.
Have you ever consumed Japanese curry? And part 2 would be, are you aware of what Coco's Ichibanya curry house is? Coco's Curry.
I've not been to Coco's Curry, no. But I have had many a Japanese curry.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
It's delicious.
It's the best dish I make is Japanese curry. Chicken katsu.
Amazing.
And the reason why I asked that is because I know you, a month or two ago, you laid out all the spreads in those Japanese catalogs, essentially the GQ or was it not GQ, but necessarily, what magazine? It was like
it was Leon magazine and also Sense magazine, which are essentially there to,
like Rolling Stone.
I mean, it's essentially their GQ. I mean, there is a GQ Japan, of course, but this is their the Japanese level, like the top level fashion magazines.
Yeah, man, you were right up in there. Those were awesome, and it was cool. It was like a little flashback for me because, the Navy and Marine Corps have a huge base of operations from Okinawa all the way up to Atsugi Air Base, Yokohama, even up to northern and the Sendai and north region of Japan. I had the time of my life over there, man. I haven't been there in 10 years, but I know you've been several times, and people ask me, even though I've been all over the world, where if I could go anywhere right now, or if I could live anywhere else, where would it be? And I always say Tokyo, man.
I love Japan, man.
Yeah.
They actually have good cigar community too, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
They do.
He was telling me about that one day.
Shout out to John Romero, who's a member of Nickel City Cigars Legacy membership. He's still stationed over there in Yokosuka, and we're shipping to FPO AP on the daily.
Very nice.
Love our boys.
Oh, what's up, D?
D's in the building.
My girl.
Ron's in the building. Yeah, where were you, Matt? You would have been a phenomenal guest of that pool party they had there. I could see you do some landish shit at that pool party.
Oh, at the protocol pool party?
Is
that what you're saying?
Yeah, I don't think y'all three could actually be together in the same room.
Oh, no, we cannot. It's actually not safe for ourselves or anyone around us. But I mean, I've already done all that shit. I mean, we were like the motley crew of this business when we started, Mm-hmm. I'm tired now. I have to chill. And also I want to focus on living longer.
Well, you weren't tired last night when you said that you were taking Tommy to a foam party.
Yeah, no, we're going to a foam party in Ibiza.
Yes, sir.
The best part is Tommy had no clue about it.
Yeah. What did I say? I said, yeah, if Matt says we're going, we're going.
Easy.
We're fucking going.
Perfect.
What do you do?
Oh, man. You got to get a GoPro. You got to wear a GoPro for that whole party.
Yeah. Attached to a helmet. So you're going to need that too.
I'm bummed out, man. I really wish Vegas happened this year. I mean, it really fucking puts a damper. I was looking forward to seeing everybody in Vegas, hitting up some little VIP action, and got fucking. So what's the next one? What like TPE next year or what?
Maybe. Who knows?
God, I can't stand it, man. We need to get together and make some transactional coitus.
I agree. I agree completely.
That's the first thing you ever slanged on my voicemail, Matt Booth, and I still have it. Yeah, transactional coitus. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy, Matt Booth, making the coitus on my voicemail?
Mm-hmm. Fucking right. And now look at it.
I was bummed I missed that call. Shout out Danny V for exchanging those digits.
I knew something at the time that you did not yet know, is that we were meant for each other.
Yeah, I didn't know that, but now I know.
You
I
see?
know.
You see?
Hey, you lead, I follow.
A COVID party's kind of safe since it's foam.
Well, yeah, I mean, look, antibacterial foam, of course. Just the whole place is sterilized.
You ever been to Panama City, Florida?
I don't know. Maybe.
Panhandle side, but Panama City has, I cannot remember the name of this club. Somebody might, but it was like just this I can't, the size of this place, it was clearly had to have been like 30,000 square feet. And it was like all these buildings with like 6 courtyards. And each one, it was like 7 clubs inside of like a club because it was like spring break capital of the fucking world. And one of these clubs was just the foam club. And it's just nothing but spring breakers in there. But I had been
foam club, you say?
Yeah, but it was up to the titties. The foam was up to the titties. So there were people like doing coitus down in the foam pits. You're stepping all over people. I don't know. It was one of the weirdest things I'd ever seen.
Fantastic.
It was there was no break. It was wall to wall, titty high, across the room.
Sounds like
phenomenal.
Throw a party like that.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Unsanctioned foam coitus.
Just foam billowing out of your front door like a dishwasher that you put hand soap in or something, you know?
Double up the insurance policy, you know, the water damage.
Yeah, of course. It's going to fuck up the leather, man. You know it's going to fuck up the leather.
Hey, listen, while you're on here, because I mean, I still haven't had the chance to go. Can you give us like kind of like a virtual tour of the lounge?
You talking to me?
No, I'm talking to your neighbor.
Yeah, you. Yeah, well, your lounge, man.
Yeah, let's see. I don't know. I've never done this StreamYard thing, so let me see if I can turn this around.
Yeah, it's.
How do you turn it around?
Are you on your phone?
Yeah.
Well, just turn the phone around, man.
You see?
Just look, but show them the wall with my shit on it. Don't show them that other stuff. Show them the Room 101 wall.
All right, we'll come in the side door. Side door. You enter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And right here, you kind of like there's a little kiosk check-in station for the hostess. Little VIP session station right here. And then you can go left or you can go right into the lounge.
Look at that.
Huh?
And so it's a private member lounge. And of course we got some OG games. Bubble hockey, we play for sticks. I put a $10 stick down. You got to match it if you want to play.
Place is dope, man. Look at that.
Then we got the OG 4-person turtles. We have some Street Fighter tournaments going on. Get it? And then we got our boy Ivan, the Ivan Stewart off-road. Then OG Miss Pac-Man cabinet, but it's got Frogger in it, and it's got regular Pac-Man as well. We pretty much only play the regular Pac-Man.
Got hockey.
You got a little, front section if you want to sit and talk romantically to your folks. Wraps around over in front. Some chill area, and then obviously you have the bar over here. Can you see it? I don't know how this looks because I'm looking at the back of my phone. So,
no,
it looks great, bro.
And then we have the little Touch Tunes jukebox in the wall.
I love that.
On the
That's great.
Wall. Then you got the humidor over there, and we run the reverse osmosis system. And then down the corridor is where you start seeing some wall wraps.
Oh, look at that! Look at that!
And then you got the Boofy Wonder around the corner back there.
Wow!
What a nice looking wall!
Around the corner back there is.
That's serious.
Look at that! Look at how nice that looks.
Room 101.
Very honored, man. I'm very honored.
And then we go in.
Fly our flag in there like that.
I'm smoking a cigar. We don't smoke in the humidor, but then you come in and there's just a little Atabay sesh. We won't name any of these brands, but I had a company. If you're on Instagram, check out Oxford Pennant. And then up here is where you see Room 101.
Look at that.
They hand stitch these banners, and so I had obviously banners made, and Wait.
So when you walk in, bust a right, basically.
Yeah, when you walk in, come right
Just
here,
bust
front
the right.
and center.
Oh
Are
my!
you fully locked up with
dear.
that?
So wait, well, wasn't Kevin just flexing that he was smoking a death bucket?
Brah.
But here they are, right here.
Look at you.
So, Room
Well
101.
done, man.
So, that's the humidor. And the humidor...
You did a hell of a job, brother.
The humidor is about 320 square feet. That's pretty much it. I just had these sick cornhole boards made.
Very nice.
With the logos. We slang the cornhole in here. We also have... we play one-on-one basketball here. So if you want to get a game,
nice.
Get it. And then around this front wall, in this back corner is kind of like the little nook. And that's where we have the club logo here, and that's hand stitched by Oxford Pennant as well.
Oh, amazing.
These custom benches made, they're metal bases and then charred burnt wood. That's it. This is Brenda. She's been with me since the beginning.
Hi, Brenda.
Yeah, it's Brenda. And then, of course...
what a dope spot, man.
Members entrance door. And that's it, man. That's it. This is the...
That's what I'm saying, man.
This is the postcard. This is the postcard that Skip Martin sent to me when I grand opened. And it was like, way to open during a pandemic. Go fuck yourself. So I framed it and put it on the wall. Behind me. It's right there.
Very nice, man.
Yeah, man. So it's chill. It's a chill little spot. It's rather large. The whole lounge itself is about. The videos don't really do it justice. It's about 3,000 square feet. The lounge, and then you have the humidor in my back office where I do all the pick, pack, and ship and business out of, all the coitus.
Got a lot of good comments. Looks unreal. So clean. Doing a
black
great
and white. The outside of the building is just flat black, some white neon, and just clean and just kind of like simple, sweet, you know.
Boston Jimmy's upset though. You don't got no Donkey Kong.
We're getting more games. The next vintage arcade game that's coming is the 6-person X-Men game from the late 80s, early 90s.
All right.
And Colin said he's unbeatable in bubble hockey, by the way. So
well, we play for sticks and we play tournament rules, and I don't lose. So bring it.
Damn.
Spy Hunter, man. You got to get Spy Hunter.
Spy Hunter is a good game, man. But the county's weird. Every machine that I have is taxed. So I pay a permit fee for each game, which is $50 on the annual, and then it's taxed on top of that. Yeah, so they don't actually make a whole lot of money. They're really just for the members. So when one day a month I'll run a promo, and it's just like free play night, and I'll kick them all over to free play and let people have at it.
Mm-hmm.
We have a standing rule. Any of the other games, if you beat a high score, which are all owned by either me or one of my employees, if you beat a high score, you win a free cigar.
Very cool.
Yeah, I mean, that's a beautiful shop. You did a lot of work. I mean, I wish I got to come to the open, and obviously couldn't fly anywhere during that shit. So,
well, I had good folks like Matt and the Roma crew, Tatawahe, Ali from United, Cigar Hustler Mike, and a slew of other individuals that really kind of like held me down and pushed me in the right directions, and they were there when I needed them. And because I was, running a healthcare building full time, I was running the e-commerce full time, and then me and 4 other guys with these old baseball mitts were physically building this thing out, and I was being a single dad, so I was a basket case, man, and dudes like Matt Booth, that's why his face is plastered on the wall at like 9 feet high, because I mean, they want to see this industry succeed, and they want to see good places that are invested carry their brands and preach it, you know, like can break it down. I don't want anybody to walk in here and I can't tell them what's so great about this Connecticut, right? And through the different platforms, the offerings, you know. So I wouldn't be here without the help of these guys. So hopefully I do something with it, right?
You did a hell of a job, dude. You know, I'm being honest.
There we go.
You know, I wouldn't lie to you on that.
So I have a question that's been fucking burning a hole in my brain, because I found out through Instagram, or Half Wheel maybe, that the 11th anniversary cigars were coming up, and I'm like, I was just on the phone with Matt 48 hours ago. How did this not come up in conversation? How do I need to find out from social webs, right? And then boom, there they are. They're coming.
Things are happening. Things are always happening, man. You know, something we're working on.
Are you excited about it?
Been working on, of course, man.
So how does it stack up against the 10th Annie? Because that was a phenomenal cigar. I gave it instant unicorn status.
Look, they have to be on the level, but they also must be different from one another. Okay, so now enter them competing against one another. Enter the idea that people will prefer one to the other just because of their personal taste, you know?
Yeah.
But every cigar that we will release under our anniversary moniker will be of an equal caliber. You know, they'll just be different.
Is there a component of the blend that stands out to you that was like, this is it, this is why I'm doing it this way, or was it just all greatness?
You know, the way the 10th came to be was a product, a byproduct of some of my initial blending sessions with AJ, the same blending sessions that produced the tea and a couple other products. And it was something that was gorgeous. But to me, you know, if I build a series, it has to be built with cohesive, you know, products that stand next to each other and complement one another, right? Yeah. That makes sense. They're related to each other in a way. You know, perfect example in farce. You know, the Connecticut is the Connecticut to that Habano, and it is the Connecticut counterpart to that Maduro as well, and vice versa amongst the trio. You know, so that Rosado was gorgeous, but you know, out of everything we had built, it was truly a standalone performer, and I didn't really know what I wanted to do with it.
Right. Yeah.
You know, and then lo and behold, I'm sitting there, you know, flipping through my mental Rolodex of everything to do, and I realized, oh shit, we're about to celebrate a decade in the business. We should probably have a product, you know, a celebratory product, the 10th anniversary. What might I have in my repertoire that was such a standalone performer that it deserves that type of skyline? And I thought immediately of that Rosado blend. So the 11th is no different in that regard.
Very well. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm looking forward to it,
it's beautiful, man.
I saw it. I put my order and I sent it to you, and then I've been following up with your man Tony, like, Bill Ship, ? Bill Ship, ? Like,
Justin Andrews is fucking trolling us. Look at this guy.
Who is it?
Justin Andrews, a good friend of mine.
He said, pretty cool you guys got Matt Booth's older brother on the show.
Real cute, Fuzzy Wuzzy.
And D said she asked before, but she wanted to know, is the Connecticut payback coming back?
End of the year. Ooh. If it wasn't for all this coronavirus bullshit, it would already be out right now. So, but it will be live and active before this dumpster fire that we refer to as 2020 is over. Before the last curtain call of dumpster fire 2020, you will see Payback Connecticut.
For real, crash and burn 2020.
There you go.
I'd fucking say.
They might as well make a cigar for that too.
I think if we were going to do, maybe we should get somebody to do like some cross stitching. Like, well, you got those guys that do the pennant guys, right?
Yeah.
You should just have them do a giant toilet that's on fire and just put 2020 on it.
They do some cool stuff. It's Oxford Pennant.
Yeah.
On Instagram. I mean, they're huge. They got a couple 100,000 followers or something like that. But they're from Buffalo. I could walk there, which is weird because, you know, they have such a huge following all over the world. And but they're literally a block from me, so it's cool. I get to walk
Very
over,
cool.
and I'm working on some projects with them. But yeah, they've got some supportive stuff for what's going on. You know, like we'll see this through together type deal. But they have some satire stuff for 2020 as well. They're real clean, man. They've got the e-commerce, you know, social media, branding, marketing stuff on lock. I've learned a lot from those guys. So if anything, peep them and just copy what they do because it works.
There you go.
I'm drinking. Shout out to Typico. If you could see this, it's backwards. Typico Espresso. They've got two like super hip coffee shops and cafes here in downtown Buffalo, one in the Elmwood Village and one on the west side. And their Typico cold brew I have on tap here, and it's like fucking rocket fuel. It's the best cold brew I've ever had. So
Perfect.
people ask for cream, and I'm like, no, just black, just cold brew black. And we are working with I'm working with the owner of Typico, who used to travel the world in search of the greatest beans, and we're making a cream soda cold brew for tap for the
Very
lounge
nice
system. Yeah, I heard you were.
Well, I look forward to
coffee,
having
Mitch.
a cup when I come.
Yeah, I got a coffee out there. It's very, very good. I got a Nicaraguan blend, Honduran blend, mocha blend. I got a whole bunch of blends. Eventually, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna smash it all in a one blend and not have 27 because 27 is a lot to carry.
Where can we buy the commish coffee?
Commishcoffee.com.
Commishcoffee.com.
I got me leaning back, my legs up, looking cute over the table. Got a cigar in my mouth. The cigar is a Philly blunt. Smoking a Philly blunt.
There you go.
I got to go old school. I had to smoke a Philly blunt while I was, drinking my coffee.
Perfect.
I sent a nice package out to you yesterday, Commish.
Yeah, I appreciate you, man. As always, man. Right when I started my whole little wave before I was even the commish, I was the ish. There was no cum in the ish, You were right there supporting me, man. You sent me to Buffalo, even though I lost about 14 great cigars that you gave me going to your shitty ass stadium. Oh, dude,
yeah,
they didn't.
Yeah, I don't know why did you try to bring cigars into a football stadium?
Because we don't have these problems in Boston.
Yeah, the Bills. Have you not heard of the
cigars in?
The Bills Mafia, man. You go through metal detectors. You're getting anal probes. You can't.
So they actually didn't let you bring in cigars.
No, they made me throw them out.
Some unicorns. Yeah. He didn't just throw out
I was upset.
Yard guards. He threw out like a fucking herpidor full.
It ruined the first quarter.
That's a travesty, man.
But the third quarter, when I seen, now this is what puzzles me, and I got to get an understanding from you. Why the hell were your fans walking out when you guys were down 6 points to the New England Patriots?
I can't. Why were they what?
Why were they walking out in the third quarter when you guys were down 6 points to the New England Patriots?
I already know the answer, and this is gonna fucking blow your mind because that's the last quarter to buy booze.
Wow. So, that to me, man.
I was going to say parking.
It's a combination of both. You were seeing people hit the road to get out of Orchard Park, and then because there's 3 ways in, 3 ways out, and they all get congested. We just go back to the tailgate and party. But then the other answer is they were going to buy booze before they shut it down. So you might have been confused.
Yeah, that hurt my feelings, dude. Honestly.
I don't remember the outcome of that game, but I'm assuming the Bills won.
No, they lost. But you know, the thing is it's like, damn, dude, like being from Boston, man, like we there's one strike left in the game, and we're like, we could win this game. And you guys out there walking out in the third quarter down 6 points, man, that was like a victory being down 6 points to a team like the New England Patriots, you know? And I'd be like, damn, I got to stay for this, see if we win. I hope we win, man. Like, even if we lost at that point, I'd be like, dude, we played a hell of a game. And I told you that after. I'm like, played a hell of a game, you know?
Yeah.
You guys kept in I think the quarterback sucks. You know what I mean? I think that was the problem, truthfully. People say he's good.
The 2-year quarterback, you know, playing against Bill Belichick.
Yeah, we'll give him that.
And Tom Brady, I mean, who consistently have an above-average defense. You know, people forget that the Patriots have always put a good defense on the field. Always. They've never had have they ever not had a top 10 defense?
Well, since 2000, though.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, people
before
forget
that, we had Buffalo teams before that. You guys were good, and we were horrible.
So people think the Bills have been garbage for, 20 years, and maybe so, right? Okay. But how would you like to play the Patriots twice a year, every year, be in the same division where the best you can hope for is a fucking wild card? And it just, you don't get it. So the Bills have always been at a disadvantage. So if the Bills over the last 20 years were in any other division, I don't see that, happening. But they've turned the corner. They are, a really good team. They've got a really good team. This sucks because I'm a season ticket holder, as you know. I have 4 seats in the club level, and I like to bring people.
And they're good seats, not just seats. They're good seats.
Yeah, they're. I've moved around. I've paid my dues to get these seats, and I've waited my entire life for this season. And we get 5 primetime games, 3 of them here at home. We've got Sunday nighters. We've got Monday nighters. We've got Thursday nighters. We've got a flex game in Denver that's a Saturday game. So we've got all this primetime age, and then fucking COVID goes and takes it from me. Bastards.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, so now we're shot. So we'll just be here at the lounge, kicking it, eating wings, getting fat, smoking Room 101 cigars.
Yeah, I might fly out there.
It could be worse.
What's it going to cost me? $50 to fly out there?
That's right, man.
You're just gonna have to pick me up in the airport. I don't want to, no problems. I don't want to get ran up on by a buffalo or something.
Yeah, you don't want that, man. You don't want that.
Man, when you going out to Buffalo, that's like uncharted land for you.
I know, man. I've never been. I've never had the pleasure, and now I have a very critical reason to show up, man. So, as soon as possible.
There's a big
as soon
gap.
as possible.
There's a big gap between your logos on the wall there, and we're gonna use a paint pen, and you're gonna draw something and then sign your name right in between all the logos, right on the drywall.
Perfect, man. I'm ready.
It's just like you trace your hand.
I'll trace something on your wall.
All right. If it looks like an eggplant, we won't be sad.
There's a couple more questions we got here. We got a question from Allison. Allison says, is the Matt Booth from 10 years ago in awe of the current Boothy?
In awe? Well, I mean, I suppose you could say yes, I suppose you could say yes. It's a totally different universe, man. In 10 years, I think a couple lifetimes have been lived, and who would have ever thought, who would have ever thought that we would have been here, and still kicking, So I suppose you could say that, above anything else, I think I'm just grateful to still be rolling.
Yeah, you stopped for a little while there, right? And took a couple of years off, and then you went hard on the jewelry. I was looking at your jewelry, and I was kind of in awe. And I'm not really a big jewelry guy, but to support you, I'll probably have to have you make me something with some type of militia logo or something like that. But I've never been.
All be done, man.
That's what I heard. I can't even get a hat made. You know how hard I make a hat?
Hats are hard, man.
It's
Hats
like
are hard.
it's like crushing to me because like hats are like my forte. I don't go anywhere without a hat on. I've literally I talked to Fat Joe, the rapper.
Yeah.
Okay. His custom designer, because my friend is Fat Joe's his uncle.
Okay.
Like, still couldn't get it done. He's like, yeah, not happening. Like, way to crush my dreams.
Hats are tough, man.
Yeah, you know.
Good hats. Good hats are tough.
You got Bill's Mafia. Did he send you Sponge Candy or Logan Berry? I don't know exactly what Tim McCabe said that. Maybe who knows? He's got the music playing there. He's jamming up by himself, trying to make it look like the lounge is full to the max capacity.
Yeah, he's trying, you know.
He's gonna put in some crowd music.
He's creating a vibe right now. He's creating a vibe.
Were you talking about me turning the music on? I walked away. Yeah, I had to turn something on, man. I'm standing in here. It's fucking silent. I'm like, I'm standing in an empty room. We're
not entertainment enough for you. You got to put on some tunes.
I love you.
I know.
So can we talk about the purple drip? Am I allowed to talk about the purple drip?
No.
Okay, I can't talk about the purple drip.
Okay, yeah, no, you can talk about it. Fuck it.
I don't want to talk about the purple drip if I got to know.
Talk about it.
Purple drip is coming. Stay tuned. That's it.
Stay tuned to Nickel City for opportunities that are unlike opportunities elsewhere to acquire and consume fine merchandise.
That's right. It might be purple and it might drip.
And it might be called the purple drip.
Maybe.
It should be called. Is it called the purple drip?
You can call it that.
That's what I'm going to call it.
You can call it that.
Because that shit is dripping.
It's very beautiful.
Be some of whatever it is, as long as it's not no hallucinogenics.
Yeah. I want to ask Matt Booth a question.
Ask it.
Do you believe this is two-part? First one is closed-ended. It's closed-ended. Do you believe in time travel? Sir?
Absolutely.
Okay. Second part. If you could time travel, where would you go and what would you do? You going forward or backwards? You only got one trip. What are you doing?
I time travel frequently.
Oh, shit. Take me with you.
I time travel frequently when I smoke.
Okay.
Smoking cigars is what confirmed for me that time travel exists. Let me explain further. So, when I was younger, my mom had a horse. This is not code. She actually had a steed. And we would go feed the steed, right? And, in this barn that the horse lived in, you would be enveloped in the smell of hay and other fine scents, right? And I remember one of the first times I was working in the loft area in the old Camacho factory. One of the very first trips, one of the very first blending trips that I participated in. And I remember coming across a bin of tobacco and I put my face in it and I closed my eyes and I smelled, and immediately as the scent of this specific tobacco went into my nostrils and was processed and went into my brain housing unit, I was immediately 10 years old, standing in the barn, feeding the horse a carrot. Again, not code. And I realized one of many of tobacco's powers is that it can reconnect you to alternate points in time. It can take you somewhere. It can take you to a cherished moment with a relative that you smoked with. It can take you to an occurrence in your life, that smell, that taste, that the way your mind processes how the tobacco is participating with your palate, it can send you there. And so I happen to time travel frequently when I smoke.
I got a question.
And it's one of many, many beautiful things that I love about cigar smoking.
Just real quick, before Kevin goes, I love that, and I agree with that 110%. Every time I smell like new school supplies, it takes me back to the elementary years and
Trapper Keeper.
Yeah, fucking Trapper Keeper. But me, I'm going, as cliche as it is, I'm going back in time, and I'm getting the sports almanac, and then I'm coming right back here, and I'm betting on everything.
There you go. Just throw me a hunch or something. Just break me off a little piece. Yeah.
Yep.
Perfect.
That's it. What do you got, Kev?
Always bet on Belichick.
Motherfucker
wins, man.
Well, Floyd Mayweather.
I don't even watch sports, but I'm a fan of Belichick.
Floyd Mayweather,
he's a gangster.
Now, if y'all had a choice out of anybody, obviously, living or dead, who number one person you want to sit back, relax, smoke a cigar, enjoy a drink with?
Rick James.
Oh, fuck.
Wow. I didn't expect that one.
I missed out on meeting him, man. I was this close, and then he expired. He left this mortal world, and I was a little bummed. So I missed out on Rick James in the flesh, so I would go back and kick it with Rick James.
Now, what about you, Tommy?
That's a tough fucking question, man. It really is. Mine's a toss-up. Most people don't know this is I love all sports. I'm a fucking junkie. But the sport I love the most is basketball. Okay? I'm a diehard Knicks fan. I don't care if they're garbage. I don't care if they've been garbage forever. They've got the worst owner, blah, blah, blah. That's my squad. I don't miss a Knicks game. I love the Knicks, okay? But who made me a basketball fan is Kobe Bryant. So I would say Kobe Bryant or Kennedy. One of the two. It would either be JFK or it would be that cool cat JFK. Cool cat. I want to be on that little wooden boat of his, smoking some
super
cigars.
Cool.
I want to be the Irish version with the beard and the glasses, smoking with him in Nantucket. And that's that, man. So JFK or Kobe, one or the other.
There you have it.
Probably JFK because he could tell me about Area 51 and shit like that. So
he could. He could.
He might.
He could tell you.
He would. I feel like he would.
So
my guy would be,
who is your guy? Tell me.
My guy would be because I've watched a lot on him, and I watched his whole life story, how he evolved from absolutely nothing. And one of the best stories I ever heard was when he was talking about how he was trying to do comedy, and his teacher, when he was 10 years old, told him that he would never make it in comedy. She laughed it off because everybody else was saying, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a lawyer. He said he wanted to be a comedian. It would be Steve Harvey. And
cool.
And Steve Harvey said that every single year he buys that teacher a 65-inch TV so she could watch him on TV. And when I heard that, I was like, dude, that dude is just a man. The stories that he was saying and stuff he says, he's pretty inspirational guy.
Yeah, he's super cool, man.
Man, when you were in the service, did you get to meet any when you were overseas? Any celebrities or athletes come overseas?
No.
I got to meet everybody, but the coolest person I got to meet was Drew Brees, man.
Oh yeah?
Okay.
Yeah, he was a cool cat, man. It was really cool talking to him on the mess deck.
Very cool.
Of the Shitty Kitty, aka the Kitty Hawk.
Yeah, we were just sleeping in dirt holes, man. Nobody came to visit us, but it's all good. I meet people like that now, so
I came in your dreams. I visited you.
I meet celebrities like you, Tommy Nickel.
We're
gonna have a celebrity.
Tommy Pickles.
Yeah. I'm a celebrity in my own mind. That's about it.
So I think my device is dying here, man. So if you got a question, or if anybody has a question, they gotta shout it out, man. Or if we're just in for some more casual conversation and then I bounce, that's cool too.
We're chilling. If anybody has any questions, let me scroll up, see if there was any questions we left unmissed. I know somebody said, Chris said, Matt, I took your advice and paired the Foss, Connecticut with the Room 101 gin from the freezer. Amazing pair.
There you go. I'm glad you dug it, man. That shit'll send you to Pluto. You got to be careful with it, though.
Oh.
Harness its power.
Matt, if your life was made into a movie, who would you want to play your character and why?
Tommy Nickel. Tommy Nickel's going to play me in the movie. Either him or Pizza Mike from Wichita.
Pizza Mike.
I'd say Shirtless Mike, but Pizza Mike was before Shirtless Mike. And Shirtless Mike, I love. He's like my little porcelain babushka. You know, he's always with his shirt off, smoking. But Pizza Mike's the OG.
Oh, man.
So here's the deal. You got to go on fucking Instagram. You got to look at Room 101 brand. I have to do this. This is the whole thing, right? I always forget to do this. So today I'm doing it.
Go ahead.
You got to go to Room 101 brand, Room 101 Cigars, Room 101 Gin, and surely don't pass over the Room 101 Shadow Army because shit can get very interesting in there. And dig in. And if you haven't already, learn a little bit more about what we do, where we're coming from. Because if you're going to invest in some of our products, you should know a little bit more about our brand philosophy and why we do what we do. And I think through those outlets, you may be able to discover or uncover the answers which you seek, or maybe you don't even know at this time that you seek. But it's never been a better time to be a cigar smoker. We are ultimately spoiled with the quality of cigars that exist and that are distributed in our fine country of these United States of America and beyond our fine borders. And so with that said, having a bevy of fine premium choices, sometimes you must make your choice based on other things, like who you're supporting, you know, whether it be the store or the brand owner or the overall brand philosophy, you know, what they stand for. I mean, if you're going to buy cigars from the big guys, they make great cigars too. But I always challenge and recommend that people support human-owned brands, not corporate. I mean, buy what you will, you know, but at least buy something. At least buy something from Tatuaje, from Romacraft, from Room 101, whomever it may be. Just support Real Deal and support guys that have fought to remain in the game, to be able to offer you those fine cylindrical and sometimes cylindrically smashed into a square-shaped tobacco vessels that you enjoy so much. It goes a long way. So don't forget to support the Real Deal.
Amen.
That's all I got.
I got one more. I got two more questions, and then we'll let you get going so your phone doesn't die on us. Besides the looming FDA bullshit, what is your biggest fear in the cigar industry?
My biggest fear? That's a good question. That's interesting. I've never been asked what's my biggest fear of the cigar business. You know, I actually, you know what? That is a good question. My biggest fear is that we allow things that are outside of our control to erode and corrode some of our core principles and our beautiful, beautiful community. You know, some of the things that I desperately fell in love with in the very beginning, you know, in a time that I refer to as the golden era of the boutique brands, you know, and it was a different time in our business. And I think about it very fondly, often fondly. And if anyone else was active in the business at that time, I think that they would tell you something very similar, that it's definitely not the business that it was at that time. And I just hope that my fear is that, or I would be afraid that we would be so irresponsible as a community to allow, like I said, things that are outside of our direct control to corrode some of the things that are the most beautiful about our community, our culture. So we got to do our very best to keep the old school alive. And I think if we do that consciously, or sometimes less than consciously, we're going to be all right.
And hey, and I mean, listen, this is a cigar conversation. So, last but not least, what's the cigars that made you guys love cigars? What's the first, cigar that you woke up, you smoked it in the morning, you're like, shit, I'm gonna smoke this cigar again, or I'm gonna continue smoking cigars. What's the?
I mean, the cigar that made me initially fall in love with it was the White Owl, man. I smoked it with my Uncle Lee. And it was so much less about smoking that specific cigar, but it was so much more about smoking that specific cigar with him and sharing that moment in time, that stitch in time, and that opened my eyes, my mind, and my spirit to I think the spiritual element that surrounds cigar smoking and the moment that is shared with those that you smoke with. And although I do prefer the Padron 64 anniversary over the White Owl, I mean, if we were talking apples and oranges here, I will say that I prefer the moments that I share with my folks even more.
Mm-hmm. Deep. What about you, Tommy?
So for me, it's, I mean, my lineage, my cigar lineage doesn't go back as far as Mr. Booth, but it was, I had cigars no different than anybody else, graduations, golfing, celebrations, shit like that. I couldn't tell you what the hell they were, right? And then 2008 spring, I was still stationed in Japan. I stumbled into a pairing bar, left, went back because I was underdressed. It was on like the 75th floor in Tokyo, and it was paired. And
you were under duress, or you were underdressed?
I went in there with like jeans and a t-shirt and a flannel on, right? And
you fucked up.
So doors opened. I let them close. Went back over to my apartment, put on the best thing I had, which was like khakis, black shoes, and a button-up with a jacket that was corduroy. I didn't match. It was poor. And I went back and I paid $75. Yeah, I paid $75 for a 2-ounce pour of some type of Suntory and a Cuban Monte Cristo No. 2, and that started it for me. And then Guam has Mac and Marty's Cigar Bar, and so I would go there when we'd pull into Guam, I was in the Pacific, so that was quite often, and I would stock up. So it was that, and then I when I got out of the Navy in 2010, I started smoking the Monte Cristo No. 2, or excuse me, the Monte Cristo New York and the Connoisseur Pack, which was like Monte Cristo Chicago, Las Vegas, Texas, in New York. It was it was an 8-pack. It was 2 each. And then I just started going through, and then I smoked something called the CU or Cuavana Punisher. I smoked a lot of the Punisher, little spice tip. And then I fell in love with, don't knock me, don't kill me here, Tatuaje in about 2013, and it was a fucking wrap from there, and I just became a boutique.
How could you not, man?
Yeah,
your cigars are undeniable, man.
It's, and still to this day, it's the Tatuaje Cajonu 06 Bellicoso straight angle cut is still one of my daily smokes. And then I got introduced to Matt's original blends and such that were coming out, and I tracked some old school stuff, some unbanded stuff, some pre-release farce, and some sexy stuff. And I really just, my circle got a lot smaller, and that's it, man. So it started with me, Cuban Monte Cristo No. 2, and then I went through some phases there and landed in boutique land, and I've never left because I believe in the passion, and I'd rather support the man, the myth, the legends behind this rock star kind of like cult following that we got going on here, Mr. Booth. And it's a lifestyle, man. It's a lifestyle. So that's it.
No doubt. That's what's up.
Well, with that being said, I appreciate Tommy for coming on. I appreciate you, Matt, for coming on, rocking the militia gear, telling us some stories. Had a great time. I hope we do this again. I hope we do this again in person, because that would be phenomenal. So if you
Agreed, man.
way to Buffalo, or listen, if you make your way to Boston, either one of y'all, you let me know. I'll take the day off. We'll go out. We'll grab dinner, the whole nine. The cigar scene sucks, so we'll take it up north to Twins.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll hold it down.
Yeah. I appreciate you having me on, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you, guys. Thank you. Have a good night, all. And most of
all right, gentlemen. You be easy. You take care.
Thanks, guys.
See you.
Bye.